Do you know what it's like to be on the bill and to play for 15 minutes and the only people there to see you are the other bands and their girlfriends?
From Buffalo, New York, it's the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast.
Welcome to the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast, where one of our hosts gets to go to a long weekend in Puerto Rico, while someone else gets to spend a long weekend at Milky's. Guess which one I am?
I never go anywhere. I do go to Milky's sometimes, but Puerto Rico was new for me.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm your host, Ryan Gurnett.
And I'm Cassidy Dwan.
Who looks very tan.
Oh, thank you.
Was Puerto Rico lovely?
Oh my God, beaches. Mofongo. Salsa dancing. You gotta go there.
Sounds nice.
Yes.
For episode number 90, we have hit 90 of the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast.
That's a big number.
We are joined by singer, rapper, writer, actor, Mr. Jay Aquarious. Thanks for joining us.
How y'all doing?
You're doing good.
It's nice to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
So on this episode, we're going to talk about some of his new releases. We're going to talk about Hooked on Cassiophonics, who I love so much. We're going to talk about some of your favorite LGBT artists, and I'd love to find out what the least LGBT venues get wrong. So we'll be talking about that. We're also going to play some new music by Jay. We have some music from Gunthers Radio as well, and there's one other. Oh, and we have new Passed Out.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite band in Buffalo just put out a cassette.
I love that.
And I got some of that. And
I just bought my 5-year-old a Walkman.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, a pink Walkman.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, pink one. Oh, wow. Okay.
And then we're also going to play a game of Janet Jackson, Queen Latifah, or Left Eye.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. But first.
Wait a minute. This just in.
I wish we had like a confetti gun that we could just pop in the air.
We always wish for bigger.
Yeah. Check out our Patreon. We need a confetti cannon, for Christ's sake. So I have a few things I want to talk about, and we'll just see what we have time for. Topic 1: everybody needs to calm the fuck down.
Well.
So I get contacted from bands every now and then who want to work with me about like, hey, can you book 5 shows for us? We want to get into these venues, and I'm always happy to help whoever I can. But I had a band on my list to help, on my to-do list. It sat there for 45 days. Oh. And it's like, I don't have time for this. Like, I'd love to help you out, but I don't have time for this. The next morning, I got a message from one of the members of the band basically saying, you need to cut the shit. I know you're not working with us because of political reasons. I'm not an idiot. My immediate response was, well, you clearly are an idiot, because that's not what happened at all.
Ego and artist are hand in hand, no?
Yes.
So often you may, in that circumstance, think things are about you personally, and really they might be about Ryan personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the truth is, in any circumstance where you're asking someone to orchestrate, and market your artistry, you're the one who needs to calm down.
Yeah. So so just,
right.
I'm not going to get into Joe Rogan and Spotify, but things like that on political discourse are like, they're rough right now, and people are having trouble getting along, but you can't just assume that because someone doesn't want to work with you, that's why, without saying something. Because I sent him, I'm like, here's a list of 20 reasons why I haven't been able to get to your stuff.
Oh my gosh, and even that response is more than needed response, because you've got other things on the docket here.
That was my day off.
Yeah.
That was what I spent 45 minutes of my day off arguing with someone and like when he's like, well, you don't want to do this because of political reasons. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what your politics are. Apparently I like commented on one random post he did. I don't even remember what I put.
Like
so
that too,
yeah, so we can't be knee jerk on these reactions. Like, we need to just take our time and take a breath and realize that people have time constraints, and not everything is about, the chaos that's really in the air with politics and how things are operated right now. So I just wanted to mention that. I think that's important. And then,
there's a little vanity about that.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's definitely a thing then where you're like, I'm reluctant to work with that person because of the, nature of explosion.
Yeah. And then so we have time. This is a new segment.
What segment?
It's called Asshole of the Month.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but we're gonna roll with it.
You're calling out a particular.
I'm gonna give you.
month?
I'm gonna give you guys 3 people, and we're gonna debate which one of these is the biggest asshole.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
All right. Number 1. An artist shows up to Milky's, brings out a 12-pack of White Claw, wants to put a sticker of him on top of the can, claim it's limited edition, and sell it at the bar. I've never seen someone bring in their own alcohol to sell at a bar.
That's conflicting.
Plus, he didn't draw anyone.
So who was he selling his White Claws to?
People who were there to
patrons of
see.
the Milk?
No, well, he was trying. I shut that down immediately. Like he's like, I heard 2 people like, should I do this? Yeah, and I just look at him like, guys, what the fuck? And I shut that shit down.
Damn.
So that's number 1, bringing in your own booze. Number 2, we had, I think Jay was there for it. Well, you didn't see this, the R&B Christmas show we had with Megan the Singer. Mm-hmm. This guy comes to the door with his girlfriend, maybe about my age, maybe a little younger. And I'm like, hey, it's $10. It was a Christmas R&B show. And he goes, fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. And I'm like, okay. Like, you do your thing. I kind of just took a step away from him because I could tell he was getting riled up. And as I come back, he's still like muttering to himself as he's walking out the door. And I just look at him like, sir, have a nice night. And I wasn't even trying to start anything. That triggered him to the point where like, I wanted to like ask his girlfriend, like, is this the guy you really want to be with right now? Because he was like, I'm going to fuck you up. Like she was like pulling him out the door.
$10.
It's like, I don't even get to pick how much the shows are half the time. That wasn't my decision. Like, I'm not even here to talk about if that's right or not. It's like, I'm just the guy who's enforcing the rules. Like, I don't make the rules.
What did he expect? $5 or free?
People will show up at Milky's every Friday or Saturday and just be fucking astounded that we charge money for shows. And it's like, this is every week.
You can't go to a movie theater for free.
Yeah.
You can't really, whatever it is.
You can't go
Can
to
you
a
go
theater
like
for
what would
free.
the going rate be for like a college basement party?
Yeah,
like,
even then,
is that
$3 to $5. Yeah.
Right?
And there's not even a bar there.
Inflation, man.
Yeah. So that's number 2.
Bring your own White Claw.
Yeah. And then number 3, I got contacted by someone through the Struggle is Real page because I actually blocked him on Facebook because I didn't want to deal with him because I knew he was full of shit. Okay. And he contacted me to tell me that he's been working tirelessly in the Buffalo music scene for years and no one will support him. I've booked his shows. He doesn't watch anyone. He shows up for a set and he leaves. And but he's making it now and he's hit the big time and he's the CEO of his own record label now and he's hit it and he wants to come on the podcast. I did some research on his record label. His LLC went through 4 days prior.
Okay.
He was a CEO of a record label that only consisted of him.
Well, he's proud and confused.
See, it's fake it till you make it works until everyone knows that you're faking it. And then you just look like an ass.
Right. Well, I think in that circumstance,
and it's like, I didn't want to deal...
stay.
And like, I had problems with this guy to begin with and didn't want to deal with him. Now after I see that, this guy is so full of shit. It's like, stop. Chill. Calm down. Like you're not... Lying like that, you're not going to lie your way to the top. That's a con job more than anything. Mm-hmm. So, and I just thought that was just...
Did he have at least a catalog of work?
No, nothing he sent me. Oh, I've heard his catalog. It's terrible.
Okay.
I'm not even going to lie about that. So...
I admire the gumption.
Like I said, shooting your shot and fake until you make it's good. But once everyone realizes you're full of shit, you don't have anyone to pitch to anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Smoke and mirrors.
Who's the biggest asshole? Is it the guy who brought his own food, his own liquor to sell at the bar?
Yeah.
Is it the guy who ruined date night, I'm assuming, over a $10 entry fee? Or is it the 4-day CEO? What do you guys think?
Okay, I'm breaking it down. So the first one just sounded like he had an idea, and it just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. I think he would just... the decision, I'm not trying to say the person. The decision was stupid.
It's silly.
I'll go out of my way and say the person was stupid as well.
Sounds like drunken nonsense.
Okay. Huh?
It sounds like drunken nonsense.
Yeah, it just sounds like nonsense. Like, okay, no.
He had his own let's qualify this. He had his own stickers to put on the White Claw?
Yes, he did.
Okay, well that says points.
It's like I
Could
get
have
it.
been like scribbling on a post-it note and sticking those to the like. This is
Honestly, like the vibe that guy brought in the building was pretty close to that. Like, I'm just gonna put some duct tape over it and like write it in Sharpie. Like that was the kind of vibe that guy gave off.
Like I get it, branding. You know, you're trying to sell. This is your merchandise. So okay, but it was just not the smartest idea. It wasn't the smartest idea.
I've never seen anyone do that.
Right.
Like try to bring in booze to sell at the bar. That's just like I even told Nikki at Milky's about it, and she's like, "That's never happened before." like you work in this business long enough, and you see that's never happened before, and you're like, "Damn, like that's special, one way or another."
The last one sounded very lost and confused. I was with you on that. I feel like that person was very lost and confused. They have problems. That's been the word of the month for me. The sentence of the month for me. This, you know,
they got problems.
Got problems. That's just it. Like it has nothing to do with me. They just got issues they need to work on. That person seemed to just really have storm in their own. They're stuck in their mind. They need to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I think number 2. If you want to stay before I go to number 2. I think number 2 is the asshole, because you ruin a night over something nonsense. It's nonsense. Like you actually just pay to see the art.
Yeah,
that's it. You pay to see and hear the art.
Oh, don't hit the table too much. I understand. I want to hit the table too.
Sorry about that. But yeah, so it's like, you know, it's stupid. It's like you actually are being an asshole. You're ruining a night just because you couldn't have what you wanted. Like
$10. That's
and was
it.
the girlfriend embarrassed?
I hope she was. That's all I can sit here and say was like, I hope that dude got a talking to.
Yeah.
Like,
if she felt embarrassed, that means she has sense.
Yeah.
She has sense. I don't know about him, but it says she has enough sense to say, listen, I don't know about this right now. You need to get it together.
Yeah.
So I call him the asshole. That's me.
That was honestly my leaning as well.
Yeah,
I feel like anybody who doesn't want to pay the ticket and they're at the door, they're embarrassing themselves and they're not doing any credit to the artist that's performing and everything else. And so you shouldn't even show up. It's, you know, it's silly. And it's kind of like not tipping your waitress too. Like, don't go to the restaurant unless you're going to leave a tip. Right?
Absolutely.
Don't go out and expect the music to perform to you for nothing. You should be there in support of whatever artist you're there to witness.
It's this form of entitlement people that are supposed to be music and appreciators that some people feel like they have. I mean, unfortunately, it travels through even the musicians and sometimes other people, but it's form of entitlement feeling that, okay, I can pay for a mainstream artist for a stadium show or a festival show. I'll pay.
And that's the other part. They'll pay the big ticket, and they're going to
Oh,
bitch about the $5-10 at a local venue.
And they like to act like they're the most important person and they should get in for cheap, but it's like, dude, if you're not going to spend $5 or $10 to get into a show, I don't think you're spending any money in this bar.
Yeah, like also for the fact that they'll spend money for a theater show. You know, they go see a play or they'll go see, you know, a musical. You'll go see stuff like that, you know, but you won't want to pay that to see a local musician who's, you know, may just be just like everybody else from here.
Yeah.
You know, they're just starting here. Like, you don't want to see the start.
I think that maybe we were spoiled to the idea that the venues were underwriting our shows, that we could walk into the venue and they would have enough of a crowd and a bar dollar to float the boat and pay the artist, and we would maybe just be able to throw $1 or $2 in a tip jar. And right now, I don't feel like our economic structure to support the music scene is that.
Exactly.
We need to instead infuse the artists with $5-10 every time we have the opportunity
Yes,
to.
and that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
And we're out of time.
So number two.
Yeah. So don't come to the show.
Of the day.
Don't ruin date night. Don't complain about the price.
Way to be
if you don't like the price, just say not interested and leave. And by the way, I just realized that that's a new world record hoodie.
That's why I won.
I had cassette tapes on sale there for consignment back in the day, back in the late 90s. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So we are going to play a new song from Gunthers Radio. Unfortunately, yesterday, which would have been Friday, February 11th, they played their last show for a while. Their singer, John Farah, is moving to Nashville to go and to find his music dream,
to live the dream.
I'm so down for that. I even talked to him ahead of time about like, dude, make sure you have a job, make sure you have an apartment. Like last thing you want to do is get down there and you don't even have like a way to pay your rent. So, but I'm really excited for him. This new EP sounds great. Excuse me. They recorded it with friend of the podcast, Doug White, at Watchman Studios, and this is the first track off of it. So we are going to listen to Twists and Turns from Gunthers Radio, and then we'll be back to talk more with Jay.
Nice.
Here on the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast.
What does this do?
On westernnewyorkmusic.com.
These twists and turns, they never seem to come at the right time. And I can't expect to be on my guard my whole damn life. But I will try to see the silver lining in the sky. These twists and turns, they complicate, change on me before I say, and I can't spend my life trying. I'm dying to escape. It's so easy to forget the meaning of your past. And life keeps changing and the feelings never seem to last. But believe me when I say time will always come to pass. With these twists and turns, they complicate, change on me before I say, and I can't spend my life trying. I'm dying to escape. It was a straight away 1,000 times before this mess was made, and now I can't go back again. But it's not set in stone, and none of us will have to be alone, going down a winding road. With these twists and turns, they complicate, change on me before I say, and I can't spend my life trying. I'm dying to escape. All these twists and turns, they complicate, they hold me back again.
And we are back here on the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast. That was some new Gunthers Radio. That was Twists and Turns.
Where did we go, Ryan?
Yes.
Twists and turns happened.
Yes,
It
they
did.
do. They do.
When they sent it to me, they were supposed to send me the whole album. They just sent me 6 copies of that one song, and it was called Twists and Turns. So I think I figured it out.
Okay, good.
All right. Hey, Jay, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing great. So tell us about how you kind of got started in music. Like, what did you, because I know you sing and you rap. What did you start off doing first?
To be technical, singing.
Sure.
Like I had this is something I realized recently. My earliest music memory popped up where I did try to play the piano when I was like from 5 years old. I just thought it was nice, and I wanted to play it, and I just started playing with it with my neighbor's piano. But I didn't understand. I didn't know what it was. But the first thing I didn't understand was singing. So I started singing, but this wasn't a church choir, and I didn't want to sing during that time. So I found my way to music when I was 13 and started playing around with writing and rapping. But when I didn't start doing things more professionally until I was 18 and started my artist development journey.
Sure. When you first started writing, like, what kind of topics were you writing about? Were you love songs or... God, that's pop music. What else do they sing about?
I mean, there's the various different topics, because I was more in a hip hop bag during that time. So I was writing raps, and I was being more hardcore hip hop with it. I was writing stuff up. I was in high school too, so like high school shit. Sometimes, rumors and people talking shit and everything. Sure. What else? Then later on came the sex songs and love songs and breakup songs. It was more hardcore hip hop based, talk shit.
Sure.
All right, so as you're starting out and you're developing your own sound, what were your outlets to first perform, and when did you find that part?
You're like the first places I started performing?
Yeah.
Well, it was hard for me because when I didn't start performing on my own will until I was like 17 at my school's talent show, McKinley. That's the high school I went to. Never really highlight music. It's not a music school, but they started to have a talent show, and I did it, and I had a great reception for it, and it was overwhelming.
That's a brave thing to do that at that age in front of the whole student body in a talent show. Yeah. Literally,
like, so many people came to see me, and I rapped and I danced. When I dancing outside, I was trying my rapping because I started dancing too. But after that, it was very hard for me to do a show because there's not many venues for underage artists under 21.
Absolutely.
I think that's a real true point. Like,
I talk about that. When I was under 18, I could play at Showplace Theater. I could play at the Funhouse. I could play at the Atomic. Like, there were places. Like, I love the Funhouse. That place was cool. It's a fucking, like, what am I thinking of? Like a marriage hall kind of place now. Yeah, like a reception hall. Yeah. Boo.
That's where money is.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, no, there were so many places that were available now.
Right.
And for me, like, I can put people at Milky's, but their friends can't get in, and I've like the hostel, but that's it. As far as, as much as I didn't like the way Sugar City, like, the room was set up and stuff.
Right. But
like,
at least it was a venue.
It was an all ages
catered to
venue.
that
Yeah,
kind of
exactly. And I was so sad to see it go.
We have
because of
so
that.
much young talent pouring out and performing arts, and these kinds of students who are, just honed in on their art.
And I worry that they're just like, if they don't have an outlet, if they don't have places to play, they're just going to give it up in some
Well,
cases.
I think the outlet's becoming the internet, right?
That's Sure. true.
Because we're posting directly to our own.
But you still want to get up on stage,
have
though.
that feel of the audience in the room and the reception of, in order to.
Yeah.
The pandemic ain't helping with that either, but I do want to say that because when I turned 18 after the talent show, actually 17, right after I started doing Spotlight on Youth. I don't know if that's still around, but that was something for underage kids to do and go to an open mic and sing in front of a crowd of
that's really
other
cool.
kids your age or older people.
Spotlight on Youth.
Yeah, Jenna from the Bloodthirsty Vegan, shout out to her.
Hell
She
yeah.
actually was the host. I met her and what's his name? Why am I blanking? My rap name is Alice. I met both of them when I was 17. So I know them for years. So they see me develop from there to now.
Both Jana and Alex in the sense of poetry and slam poetry and that enthusiasm.
They're brilliant. They really are.
And I love that they are the type who would be using their art to then explore youth and support.
Because she was at Spotlight on Youth. He was at this program called the 21st Century Program that came to McKinley after school program. So if I wasn't with her, I was with him. And it's funny because they have an age limit from like 13 to 17, but they let me go until I was 19 because they actually really enjoyed seeing me on stage.
Great.
But, the cutoff time happened, and I had to wait until I was 21 to start hitting it. Immediately I started going to Nietzsche's.
Exactly. Well, and then you've got that middle-aged range where you are not a student in high school, you're not a teenager with the programs reaching out for your participation.
Yes.
And the bars are, 21 and up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sorry for the table again.
Well, Nietzsche's is a home. So you
Yes.
went to open mics at Nietzsche's then?
Yeah, I was doing open mics at Nietzsche's, and I was always going there, honestly. And I didn't know nothing about performing live, and I didn't have anybody around me to teach me anything. So I just started going to open mics and singing a cappella. Mm-hmm. And I just started developing from there. And I already met Pam and Rotnuts already, like, a couple of years before when I was 18 or 19. But it wasn't until that later in the year I ended up joining the group that same year.
How did that happen? So you're just there in context of company, and you just merge with hey, let's all get together?
It honestly, her and Rotnuts was already together as the group. When I met them, they weren't a group, but years later they became a group.
I actually know the story behind that, and it's kind of funny. They booked for Infringement Festival. Pam was booked for like a 3-hour slot.
Yeah, she was.
Pam didn't have 3 hours. Pam doesn't have 3 hours of music now.
Right.
So she just had Rocknuts join her as just a way of passing the time, and that's how Hooked on Cassiophonics came to be.
And I think he needed a place for his energy as
Absolutely.
well. So that's such a fusion of, and when you see them, there's a contrast.
There's
That's the best part.
Different flavors.
Absolutely.
It wasn't until I was 21 I started performing. Rotnuts started seeing me doing my thing, and he booked me my very first gig. Actually, it was his birthday party back in 2014.
Nice.
And then that's when Pam saw me perform live for the first time. I saw her over the years, but I forgot her name, so I was scared to talk to her. I was scared to walk up to her. I was like, I don't remember her name, and I don't want her to get mad at me, so I avoided her for a long time. But that's when she saw me, and they wanted me to be in the group after that.
I love that.
That's awesome.
And you're a perfect third member to their contrast.
Absolutely.
Really.
And it wasn't until I saw Hooked on Cassiophonics that I even knew you could rap. I just kind of knew you as a singer. So how long after that was it before Miggy joined then?
Miggy was already in the group.
Oh, so you were the final piece?
I was actually the reason. She was actually the reason why I ended up joining, because she stepped away from the group. It was just the three of them, but because she stepped away, they ended up looking for a new person, and that's when I showed up. So I was her replacement. But when she decided to come back, we just brought her back.
And it's perfect. Like it's like between Pam and Rocknuts and you and Miggy, like you all bring so much different, like there's so much diversity really to what you do. Like it's interesting and it's fun, and there's really nothing quite like it in the area.
Not really.
Like I always tell people, like
it's good energy.
you'll see it. Yeah.
When can our listenership and viewership at this dance, when can they see Hooked on Cassiophonics? Do you have projects lined up with that?
We've been in talks about a project, so that's something that we've been brewing over. A live show, I'm not sure yet, because I've been taking a step back because of what's going on in the world.
Sure.
So that's for me.
I'm actually talking to Pam about having you guys play an infringement fundraiser in maybe March, April, or May. So
I'll be back on the stage by then.
So yeah, and we'll let you guys know.
We're ready for it.
Yeah. So to kind of shift a little bit, you are a local LGBT artist, and I've had people sometimes tell me like, well, you don't cover enough LGBT artists. It's like sometimes it's like I don't know always who is, which makes it tough. So share with me some of your favorite LGBT artists that you think people should be checking out, please.
Well, I don't know how everybody else brand themselves specifically, but I do brand myself an artist that happens to be LGBT.
Sure, yeah.
I'm in many different.
You're definitely an artist
categories.
first, and the other stuff second. I get that definitely.
There's a lot. I just want to say that for anybody who's listening. But yeah, so there's me. There is Charlie Bay. She's a black trans woman. She raps. There's also Medusa, who is a non-binary revenge pop artist.
Yeah, they make cool music.
Yes, they do. You got Demaya, who's also a non-binary artist and
friend of the podcast, Demaya.
Right.
They're a fantastic singer, rapper, fantastic. Oh, the dynamics.
They, I think, had one of the best years in Buffalo music in 2021. For me, like Demaya's like top 10 artist for last year.
Right.
Just all the different stuff I saw.
And the credit for that, when you see everybody going through their own peaks and valleys, but you can see the catalog of their work and be like, yes, more.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
Yes, but like C4W2, which is Shango 4 and 2 Wavy, they're a duo. so many of us that's in here. And there's some of us that haven't even gotten booked the gig yet. Lunchbox is also one of my proteges.
yeah.
He's an LGBT rap. He's a rapper that's that's gay, openly gay. He's also Jamaican. He's phenomenal. He's like his music is more of like, okay, you do think of Lil Nas X, but he's a lot more New York grit edge.
Sure.
Yes, he can freestyle his ass off. You can cuss on here, right?
Sure.
I
Okay.
feel like I've got a little laundry
You haven't
list
noticed
to
that
find
yet?
out.
I didn't pay attention.
We just had Asshole of the Week in the last segment.
Yes,
You can
yes,
say
we
anything
did.
you want.
Yeah, he's a phenomenal MC. I'm telling you, y'all. Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, we were talking about him before we recorded. I definitely want to check him out.
And also I have a protege that's that's an artist that's LGBT named Gabriel Fegan. He's more of an androgynous R&B singer.
Cool. So now, what are the most LGBT friendly venues in Buffalo? Because I'm sure I'm sure every place isn't easy. Are there certain places in particular that are exceptional that you noted, or is it just kind of, or are you finding that everyone's being respectful?
It's kind of challenging to answer slightly because we don't have LGBT music events, really.
Sure.
So to say that it's kind of is in a premature stages, we're figuring it out. I know Milky's is one, I know Nietzsche's is one,
Absolutely.
and I'm very sure that the Hostel is another place, and so is the
Oh yeah,
Underworld.
definly the Hostel, without
Yeah.
question.
So I can say those places for now. I haven't exercised everywhere else yet, but I know
Sure.
for sure that.
Now, I'm sure some places get it wrong. Are there things in general that these places might be getting wrong that they could fix, that they might not know that they're getting wrong? If that makes sense.
Not creating room, not thinking about us enough, or at least when it's brought up to you to acknowledge, okay, we should create room for diversity. But some people really like to exercise the right that they can do whatever they want to do, and they want to keep it like that. So some people want to keep it bluegrass, some people want to keep it rock, some people want to keep it acoustic. That's
Sure.
their business.
I think that's a whole other level of compartmentalizing our music too. Like, it's not necessarily about your gender expression or sexuality, but the idea that artists who are playing R&B or who are rappers have venues that are completely exclusionary of those genres.
Yeah.
That's
and,
tough.
And I feel like sometimes that just the intersection of our communities and how we're not being able to have a rock show that's also a venue that is an R&B supporting venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot, I'm not saying this correctly, but there's a lot of very white bread rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
You are
So I think
absolutely
that-
100% correct.
Yes.
These kind of rooms are used to catering to, blues and rock and maybe like your middle-aged white man suburbanite in a way
Yeah.
that
Yes.
doesn't necessarily invite these newer creatives.
Yeah.
I will say I was blessed because being hooked on Cassiophonics. I was blessed to experience a lot of things that I didn't know some people that are around me that has never even heard of yet to experience. Because hooked on Cassiophonics, we're a very special kind of group where we're hip hop, we're also R&B and soul. We do dance.
And
I
there's
feel
a
like-
synth fusion, and it's,
and I feel like that. I feel like that, and the dance element is what propels us in so many different atmospheres because we're very pop.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
So people really want us to be a part of their shows, and we always end up not really like blending with the other acts, and it turns out to be a variety type show.
Yeah.
Like,
like what bill did they fit on?
Yeah.
And the
Oh,
truth
yeah.
is, in your own way,
Yes.
All
you're
of
the
them.
icing on the cake
All
for
of
everything.
them. There aren't a lot of them, but I think there are some artists where you just put them on any bill and people will have a good fun time
good
with them.
time.
I think Hooked on Cassiophonics is one. The Melise, hopefully they come back. I
yeah,
always
yeah.
felt like that
I
with
remember
them.
Melise. I think I remember Melise.
Yeah. I think they're still in Japan. I think they're still stuck there because of COVID. I don't know for sure. I actually should reach out and find out. And then Danimal Cannon's another artist where you watch that guy play and like it doesn't matter what kind of music you like
Am I
or
in a video
anything.
game?
You're looking at him. We interviewed him for the podcast. He got 2 full episodes. He might be the smartest human being I've ever spoken to. That
Very
guy
nice.
is brilliant. But I digress. So it looks like, so tell us about your upcoming releases. I know you got a bunch of music coming out.
Yes, so I have some songs out right now for a project I have coming out called Dream Reality. The project is named after one of the songs that I would do with Hooked on Cassidy. When I got into the group, I already was working on I've been working on my solo stuff for a long time. But, you know, I got into the group and they're like, okay, well, we have some songs and, you know, we can try to we're going to squeeze you in as many songs as we can. But, you know, there's some songs that I don't have a solo and Rodness has a solo. Pam might get a little solo on this one song. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it's like, okay, where am I going to able to showcase my voice?
Right.
So Dream Reality was the first song. And I decided to, because some people know about the song, I decided to make the project based off that song and release songs around that project, around songs I was working on around that time too. So these songs are pretty old, but they're new to everybody, and I feel like they really cater to my brand. So you got Strobelights, which is the first song, and then Dream Reality, which was the second single.
Where do I find your music?
Honestly, my music is on all streaming platforms. iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube are the main sources right now for the music I'm releasing due to the agreement I have currently with the producer. So just for free right now, I have it for SoundCloud and YouTube for these newer songs. But everything else is on all the other platforms.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And that's the best segue ever. Why don't we take a break and we're going to play Strobelights.
I want to hear it.
So we will be right back here on the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast on Western New York Music.com.
Money.
chillin', we're grown. We're grown, yeah. Relax your minds, unwind and spend time. With no pressure, it's zone time. Zone time, yeah. Strobelights, strobelights, yeah. Strobelights, strobelights, yeah, 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 yeah. Strobelights, strobelights, yeah. Strobelights, strobelights, yeah, 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 yeah.
And we are back here on the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast. That was Strobelights by Jay Aquarious.
Strobelights.
Strobelights. So we're going to play an incomplete game that I created.
Oh, you don't even have to say that, Ryan. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little incomplete.
So
it's a fun game.
I didn't even have a chance to name it properly. So this is called Janet Jackson, Queen Latifah, or Lisa Left Eye Lopes, movie and television edition. I found
compared to the other editions.
it could be music edition. I was actually looking up rivalries that they had with other musicians, and that was why I was going to do it. But then I just found a whole bunch of weird like TV and movie facts about them. So I'm going to name a fact or give you a quote, and you have to tell me if it's Janet Jackson, Queen Latifah, or Left Eye Lopes.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to randomize these yet, so let's just start somewhere. Let's go.
You have to start somewhere.
This 90s rapper guest starred on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air twice in the same season as two different characters.
Queen Latifah.
That is correct.
Ding! Wait a minute, I was so
Yeah.
impressed. Good job, Queen Latifah.
Cassidy, you have one job. All right. This rapper composed the music for Nickelodeon's All That.
Lisa Left Eye Lopes.
Oh, you knew that one, didn't you?
Know that?
Yeah, that's TLC.
Yeah, I thought that was really
Well, I
interesting.
know, yes.
Yeah.
But
That's her rapping. That's T. Wiles and Shirley singing.
Shut up, phone. Don't mind me being professional. It's Facebook's fault. Okay, next up. One of the characters says to her, he says, "You got a smart mouth, and it's gonna get you in trouble someday." And Queen Latifah, Janet Jackson, or Left Eye Lopes responds with, "Yeah, it may also bite your ass if you don't stop trying to aggravate my patient."
I know it ain't Left Eye. It's either Janet or Queen Latifah. I feel like it's Queen Latifah.
It is Queen Latifah in The
Okay.
Bone Collector with Denzel Washington.
Okay.
That's a good movie. Like, I don't know if you guys
I have
have
seen
seen
that. I
it.
haven't thought about
Stream
that
it.
in a while.
So you're 3 for 3 already, so you're doing great.
Killing it.
Absolutely. All right. Here's a quote. I'm going to stand up for this because... If I'm a bitch, then you'll...
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yes, I don't think he is.
That was just hilarious. I got really into that quote. I'm sorry, Brent.
I guess so.
Oh my God. Thank you.
He's embodying the spirit. Okay, here we
I was
go.
embodying the spirit. Oh my God. That might be the best thing that's happened on this podcast in quite some time.
Very good,
Oh,
very
if only
good.
I would have hurt myself. All right. Ahem. If I'm a bitch, then your mama's a bitch. Bitch.
Queen Latifah.
No, that was Janet Jackson from Poetic
Poetic
Justice.
Shit. I forgot about that. She was arguing with Tupac.
That's such a great quote. I had to bring it to life.
I forgot all about that scene.
All right, in the movie House Party 3, Queen Latifah, Janet Jackson, or Left Eye Lopes performed as a part of a group called Sex as a Weapon.
Lisa Left Eye Lopes.
Oh, yeah.
I should have studied on the last one. Damn it, I was too fast. Oh well.
Fan of House Party 3?
Only because of them.
I like Kid and Play. I wonder whatever happened to them.
I forgot.
They were in Class Act, too. I like that one better than the House Party film. Do you guys remember Class Act?
I do.
I'm just late to the dance.
Like
I'm late to the
one of
dance.
them's the smart kid and one of them's the dumb kid, and they like switch classes. And
Maybe I did see
That was a
that.
good movie.
It's that typical, I'm street smart, you're book smart. It's a
Yeah.
dynamic, you know what I'm saying?
Trading place.
I think at some point I just want to do a game just about like hip hop movies from the 90s.
That would be
Because there's
a
some
great
weird shit.
topic.
Like the Fat Boys made a movie too.
So we'd have like an arsenal to dive down. Yeah.
Maybe the next episode.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
let's see. So on an episode of The Critic, Janet Jackson, Queen Latifah, or Left Eye Lopes showed up in Jay's head saying, "I dub thee my Earl of Ecstasy." And then Jay's like, what? And she goes, wait a minute, this isn't Denzel Washington's head.
I know it ain't Left Eye. I do not think that's Janet Jackson. It has to be Queen Latifah.
It is Queen Latifah. He says, Queen Latifah. And she goes, wait a minute, this isn't Denzel Washington's head. You have 4 of 5 correct. You have already won, Jay. Now you're doing your victory lap.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do your little dance. Do your little dance.
Trying to find. Okay, we got 2 left.
Okay.
They're still gonna fuck you up.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, I'm done. That's the quote.
That's the quote.
They're still gonna fuck you up.
Who says it?
I'm just going to say Janet.
It's correct. Also Janet Jackson from Poetic Justice.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson's only in so many movies.
Well,
So, Jay, you win what is one of the more bizarre games I think we've done in a while.
well, it was a good time.
It was.
It was good. I
what we
enjoyed
had.
it. I enjoyed it. And I appreciate you making the quiz, and trivia like off of with Lisa and Janet and Queen Latifah. That was dope. That was dope.
Oh, man.
He's ruffling through his bag of tricks.
Oh.
What did you find? Better be a good prize.
You had 2 prizes.
Yay.
One is this set of CCA headphones.
Okay.
Nice little earbuds. Some guy on Twitter once asked me if I wanted to test some stuff out of nowhere, and I'm like, this is a scam, but whatever. And I gave him my address, and he sent me some.
Okay.
But I hate earbuds; they don't fit my ear right. So
I'm getting excited about this. Is that the plate?
yeah.
Is it
Finally,
the plate?
the
Yes!
plate is finally going to leave our presence.
I think we found it a great home.
Yes, Jay, we found this plate, the home it needs. Here is our gobble me, swallow me turkey platter. I'm not even gonna lie. This is like the 3rd time someone's won it, and it's just like people have been supposed to pick it up and no one gets it.
This is a good
Jay,
one.
that is, if there's ever a person who I feel like I'm not sure if I'm insulting him at this point.
Well, it was a great job in
It's
the game.
hilarious.
That's a
because
great prize.
for a man to have a song called Lips and gets a plate called Gobble Me, Swallow Me.
See, here's the funny part. There's a store in Buffalo, and they had a chip dip set that they had a plate and a dish, and one said like, "I put my chip upon your dip," and it was like the song from the song The Dip.
Mm-hmm.
And so we ordered it, and we got it, and it was cool. They threw that in as a bonus. We didn't
Nobody
ask for
wanted
that.
that
No
one.
one
They had
wanted that
extra.
plate. It actually got opened on Christmas in front of my niece and nephew, who were as confused as my parents were, to be honest.
It kind of looks like a drag turkey.
Oh,
Am I correct? Like the boots and there's like fishnets on this baby turkey. She's looking back behind.
I want to say drag. It makes me think of Patrick from in the SpongeBob movie.
Perhaps.
When he had them long boots on and he just like straightened them long legs. Yeah, I think
That turkey's having a moment,
Yes, they are.
and I'm glad that
Yes, the plate is found. It wasn't about someone finding the plate. It was about the plate finding them.
their person.
Awesome. All right, so we are going to play Dream Reality. Is there anything you want to tell us about the track?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the song is a dance pop song because I'm sliding more into a dance pop element early this year. And basically the song talks about just struggling and coming out of your mind, okay, you got all these dreams, but you got a very shitty reality, and you're trying to make everything come together. So it's just manifesting and just working with what you have.
I like that.
It's also recorded at Outer Limit Studio
Yes.
with friend of the podcast, Ken Rutkowski. I just like name dropping when I can at this point.
No, it's
There's
good.
a lot of names to
These
drop.
connections are
90
connected.
episodes. That's a lot of names. That's 90 names.
He's that's my go-to. Outer Limit, Ken. Shout out to Ken. He works hard for me. He really does. He really works hard for me.
Like for my money, I would say Ken's like the best like pop engineer in Buffalo. Like if I needed to do something like slick and radio friendly, which I know is exactly what you're shooting for, like Ken's the guy for that. Ken knows Ken puts that extra layer of gloss on better than anyone else, I think.
He's amazing. He is
Awesome.
fantastic.
All right, well, we're going to play Dream Reality, and we will be right back for our final segment here on the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast on Western New York Music.com.
Dream reality.
my mind starts dwelling, and then I realize this I shall not keep. I'm taking my hands off of this thing, Damn, dreaming really can be a poison. You wish for so much and now you see the force. Now everyone has to see you crawl, but you know you crawl to get up and then you look down. You're on crack and concrete, and when you look to the sky, you're flying so high, can't see anything. Oh, I felt so lost, so left behind, but now I realize I can't dream reality right here. When I awake from this dream, I'm taking the next step forward, seeing what's happening, sickening, so defiled. During the wild, everything else is falling straight up into a pile. Well, I've dreamt the opposite. What was this that I'm seeing? The bad is conquering while the good is just steaming. The bad is just giving while the good is just receiving. Now I'm paving the way for the good to start streaming. Decisions, hold, prevention is their mission. Yes, pay attention. Everything has something in the silent moments. When it's alright, it's gonna be all wrong. When it's all wrong, it will be right. Processes will love won't be long. Cause in the end, must unite, must unite, must unite. Oh.
It's Jay Aquarious.
It must unite.
It's Jay Aquarious.
It must unite.
And welcome back to the Struggle is Real Buffalo Music Podcast on WesternNewYorkMusic.com, where I'm going to try not to fall over
I
again.
know, you got to get a hold of yourself.
Oh, that was
after that last
fantastic.
segment.
So that's all we have for episode 90. 90. Jay, thank you so much for joining us. It was a trip having you on here. Your music was great. We didn't even have time to play the Passed Out song. We're going to move that on to the next episode.
I'm excited.
Yes, it's
All the
awesome.
time anyway.
Yeah, they actually released it on cassette.
Well,
And they when I asked, I'm like, can you give me just a download code? They hand delivered the cassette to me, which is awesome.
I love that.
And I'm one of the 4 people in Buffalo who has a cassette player, so it all works out.
analog is great.
Absolutely.
We're going back around again.
So for episode 91, we're going to have Allison Mitchell and perhaps another member to a Velvet Bethany, and I'm super excited about that. I saw Velvet Bethany for the first time a few months back, and I really didn't know what to expect. It was it's so unique. Like I can't even like trying to put them in like the genre box for me is like really hard because there was just so much happening.
It's not angry girl music. Like I think that a lot.
That's almost kind of what I was expecting a little bit, to be honest.
A lot of women musicianship and that kind of, you expect it to be angry girl music. It's so explorative and it's very almost like in the spirit of chick rock. Okay, so Allison to me was a busking, brave teenage person in the streets of Allentown.
Yeah.
And I would always be, you'd hear her voice just like almost scream singing with a little guitar. And what an evolution. I'm very excited to have that.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. As always, I want to thank Guitar Factory for letting us use this amazing studio that I'm trying to break. I want to thank Brandon in the back,
for always
our
scooping
producer,
the chairs up.
for scooping the chairs up and moving shit around and editing and
being awesome.
Yeah, I want to thank John Galbo for producing and doing other stuff, and the rest of our staff. And man, I think that's everything. 90.
Okay.
100. We're getting there.
We're inching toward the triple digits here.
We'll be... Is octogenarian?
I love
is
that.
Or is that 80-year-old?
That's 80, yes.
What's
Octa's
8,
right.
Decagenarian?
Deca, yeah.
Yeah,
Deca.
we'll be...
Deca's 10?
What's 100?
We
Cent?
know century.
Centaurs! We're centaurs! I'm calling it. I want to be a half horse.
Like 10?
We'll make it happen on the next episode. Things are just falling off right now.
We're doing great.
Folks, thank you for joining us. As always, we can't do this without you as well. Everyone's struggling right now, but we're getting out of this. The mask mandate's down. Shows are coming. Spring is getting close. Things are getting better, but
the numbers
just...
are decreasing on the COVID cases.
Absolutely. So just keep being nice to everyone and keep on struggling, and we'll be here.
We will be here.
Excellent.
And let me just say what nobody else wants to say to you. Your looks have become a problem.